students, welcome back to the topic Principles of Inheritance and Variation. In the last video, we discussed about multiple allelism. In this video, we'll discuss pleiotropy as one example for intergenic interaction. Let's try to understand the meaning of pleiotropy. Pleiotropy is a fusion of two words, pleo and tropy. Pleo means many, tropy means effect. So, usually what happens, one gene will have a control over only one phenotypic expression. If we write capital T for a pea seed, then that capital T should have a control over only one character as a tall. But if there is a mutation and if the gene starts controlling the expression of more than one different trait, then that effect is called as pleiotropy. So let's try to understand. Single gene controls two or more different trait is called as a pleiotropy, can be asked for 1 mark. The best examples for pleiotropy are phenylketonuria and sickle cell anemia. Phenylketonuria is a disorder related to amino acid, and the person who is suffering with this disease will not have enough melanin pigment, so the body and hair color, the skin and hair color will be white. The other example is sickle cell anemia is related to our RBC. Our RBCs are in disc shape, but the patient who is suffering with this disease, sickle cell anemia, will have sickle shaped RBC. We are going to study sickle cell anemia under point mutation category. So, for this video, we'll restrict ourselves to phenylketonuria. Now, according to Mendelian principle, one gene will control the single character, that is expression of one character, but sometime if the gene undergoes mutation, then it may start controlling two related or unrelated phenotypic expression, and if that happens, then it is called as pleiotropy. Let's try to understand this pleiotropy by taking one example, that is a phenylketonuria. To understand this disease, we should know a bit about the proteins. As we all know, building blocks of our body are said to be the proteins. Proteins in turn are made up of amino acids. Amino acids are systematically classified into two categories as essential amino acid and non-essential amino acid. Essential amino acids are the one which are not synthesized in our body. Body cannot synthesize these amino acids. So we have to supplement these amino acids in the form of a food, that is through the diet. Whereas non-essential amino acids are synthesized in the body. Body will have a mechanism to synthesize non-essential amino acid. Phenylketonuria is related to essential amino acid by name phenylalanine. So whenever we supplement any of the essential amino acid to our body, that essential amino acid will be converted into any one of the non-essential amino acid, then only the body can absorb it. So what happens when we supply phenylalanine to our body, that phenylalanine will be converted into another amino acid by name tyrosine. For the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine, there is a need of an enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase, which can be abbreviated as PAH. So, because of which phenylalanine is converted into tyrosine. So, the gene that is responsible for the synthesis of phenylalanine hydroxylase is situated on the chromosome number 12, and if that gene undergoes mutation, then there will be no synthesis of this enzyme, due to which phenylalanine will not get converted into tyrosine and it gets deposited in the blood, leading to a disease called as phenylketonuria. So, gene controlling phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme synthesis undergoes mutation and phenylalanine gets deposited in the blood, causing disease. What are the symptoms? The first symptom is mental retardation because of over phenylalanine in the body, and the second symptom is reduction in hair and skin pigmentation. If you observe carefully the symptoms, the gene responsible to synthesize enzyme PAH is not only doing the synthesis of that enzyme, is also responsible for having control over our mental health and also having control over hair and skin color. So one gene is controlling the effect of many character, thus phenylketonuria becomes an example for pleiotropy. So in this video we discussed about the example from intergenic interaction, that is pleiotropy, whereas in the next video we'll discuss another example for intergenic interaction, that is polygenic inheritance. Thank you, students.